Hey, Retcon Raider here. We're still en route to pick up a new noble contract, but on the way we stumbled across these burned ruins, a small innocuous stronghold. Now we're all in pretty good shape, no serious injuries, our equipment's all in good condition, so I figured it couldn't hurt to at least poke our heads in and take a look. We seem to be in Undead territory, so... Yep, that's definitely another army of Undead. I'm seeing a lot of Wiedergangers, a single Noxerer. This could be another fairly simple fight. So let's hold position and see what else we're dealing with. If there's a Necromancer, we might have to cut and run. Alright, well we haven't seen any Necromancer spells yet, so that means there's probably just Wiederganger and Noxerer here. Still, with 21 armored Wiedergangers, we might not have enough fatigue to handle this. Ooh, there we go. There's a fallen hero. He's got a flail and a heater shield, that's no big deal. But I'm pretty sure he's got a decayed great helm, and I think that's a coat of plates he's wearing. Alright, well, it's a defense-heavy fallen hero. We can probably handle that. Let's stick around for at least a couple of rounds and see how many of these Wiedergangers we can pick off with arrow fire. If we can trim down their number by about a third before we engage, I think we can handle this. There we go. There's a second Wiederganger kill from Potato. Our front line needs to hold steady. Mark Richards picks off one of the Noxerer. Very nice. If I had known we were going to be dealing with Wiederganger coming into this, I would have probably equipped spears so that we could spear wall these guys. Unfortunately, our scouts let us down and we came in blind. Alright, well we've been engaged, but we've already trimmed down their numbers by 3. I'm a bit concerned about where that fallen hero might go. But for now, we're going to keep fighting. We could do a fighting withdrawal. But let's see how quickly... There we go, a nice shot from Rondus. Let's see how quickly we can whittle these guys down. Alright, there's a 5th kill. And here come the reanimations. Alright, well, like last time, at least we know because there's no Necromancer, they can only reanimate once each. Nicely done. Alright. That's a quarter of their number down so far. As long as we can keep up this pace, this battle shouldn't be a problem. And I'm definitely not worried about those zombies trying to bite their way through our shields. Though I am a little more concerned about that line of zombies with hand axes on the south side. I'm not sure if zombies will use much in the way of tactics, but those could make short work of our shields, if they actually made a concentrated effort to hack their way through them. Roderick is struggling with fatigue early. He'll be in much better shape once I'm able to give him the recovery perk. There we we go. We just need to keep clearing the lines. We've almost got half of them down at this point. Very nice. Once we've cleared at least half our battle line, we can start wrapping around and double up on the other half. Ooh, Oswald is getting worn out now too. That's the big insidious danger with fighting zombies, especially armored zombies. Your men get tired, but the zombies never do, so eventually they overwhelm your defenses, you can't fight back, and they start taking you apart piece by piece. Though in this case it's even more insidious because we've still got 3 Noxera back there getting ready to eat corpses. All 3 of them are positioned on top of zombies now. And we have that defense-heavy fallen hero on our front line. There's a gut wound. Unfortunately, that gut wound isn't going to mean anything if that Noxera eats a corpse. There we go. No clear shots on the other 2. And it looks like Roderick is getting overwhelmed now. Zombies don't have a great chance to hit, but 2 of those zombies are wielding spears, which have accuracy bonuses, and with a 4-to-1 ratio, they're all pulling, what, plus 15% chances to hit? Alright, Roderick. You don't have enough fatigue for anything fancy, so just start trying to pick off the weakest. That fallen hero is not particularly dangerous, he's just very tough. Part of me wishes he had spawned with a 2-handed weapon so he'd be easier to hit and we'd finally be able to get a 2-handed weapon. For a battle this big, we're probably better off handling a defensive fallen hero. Oh good, he got pushed off our battle line. And those 2 Noxera managed to upgrade. They're both fully healed, their morale's restored. It's not the end of the world, but we do need to try to keep them from becoming full-size Noxera. Alright, Rondus, move up, engage. There's a split face, very nice. We could just get this one Wiederganger out of the way. Our entire southern battle line would be freed up. Okay, they are now starting to whittle down Roderick on the north side. We really do need to get more support up onto our north end. Roderick's still too low on fatigue, so one swing and then his turn's over. There we go. At least he's got Vlad and Goon to back him up. And the fallen hero is re-engaged, this time with Goon and I got. I didn't really think that through. Because he's wearing heavy armor, my impulse was to swap out to the dagger so I could try to harvest it, but that's pretty much pointless during a fight like this, especially considering the poor condition his armor's already in. Alright, well let's bring Henry up. He's not going to be able to attack, but at least he'll be in position for next turn. And everyone else is stuck where they are. So, moving on to round 6. One reanimation, and more importantly, that Noxera is moving into position to eat yet another corpse. Though on the bright side, he's positioned where my archers have a clear line of sight at him. We'll dispatch this one, and then we'll... I'm torn here. I should be focus firing on the Noxera, but I also want to clear our front line so we can start repositioning. Okay, very nice. You'll notice that Rondis got 3 attacks there. That's because he's one of the first mercenaries we've given the Berserk perk to. The way that works is that whenever he strikes a killing blow, he instantly recovers 4 action points, which is just enough to take another one-handed weapon attack. Oh, things aren't looking good for Roderick up on the north side. He just got a hand injury. Just not sure how I can get people up there fast enough. My guys are getting slowed down too much by this wall of reanimating zombies. Alright, Oswald managed to clear our south line for the most part. So let's see what we can do here. We do need to focus on taking out this Noxera, so we'll move Siren up. And IGOT will engage the fallen hero and this other zombie. Oops, I forgot to switch Faceless Goon back to his flail. And he doesn't have enough fatigue to attack with it anyway. Alright, Henry is not close enough to attack anyone again, so he'll have to keep maneuvering. Nothing else I can do this turn. Okay, the fallen hero got pushed out of combat again. That's not a bad thing. Now Vlad. Very nice, another zombie dispatched. Unfortunately, that medium Noxera is better at tanking damage than I had expected. And my archers are getting to the point where they're having a hard time picking out clear lines of sight. I guess Fox will just have to maneuver this turn. But Bunny can fire through the ranks. There we go, another zombie down. Only 5 opponents left at this point, but we're all starting to suck wind on fatigue. Our men are becoming exhausted. Ooh, very nice. Okay, Rondis managed to cut through the last of the zombies and re-engage the fallen hero. That way the fallen hero is locked down, so I can control who he ends up facing. Okay, Roderick. Just hold out for another turn or two, man. Now I can hop. I got up. Now he's backing up Roderick against one of the 2 Wiedergangers. And Siren's out of stamina now, too. He's so close that Noxera must have less than 10 hit points left. Okay, Faceless, hop the line. Now we've got 3 on that armored zombie. And I think I'm going to go ahead and move Vlad up as well. That way they're doubling up on the other zombie. That forces the zombies to split focus and makes them easier to hit for everyone who's engaged with them. And everyone else will hold position. That's exactly what I was hoping to avoid. Alright, now we have 2 major threats on the field. We've got the fallen hero, and we've got a full-sized Noxera. I'm not sure which one to prioritize now. I guess maybe the Noxera, because he can disable a mercenary in 1 hit if he gets the chance. Ooh, Roderick. Things are not looking good for Roderick. Oh, there we go. Okay, well done, Oswald. That's one major threat down. That just leaves us with, what, 2 Wiedergangers and 1 full-size Noxerrer. I like those odds. Alright, Siren, let's see what kind of damage you can do. Let's just, actually, your fatigue's pretty high. Let's leave you on the dagger. Nice. Not a whole lot of damage, but 3 solid hits. Let's do a little bit of shuffling on some of our archers here. They can be in position next turn to fire through Roderick and help finish off those last 2 Wiedergangers. Oh, come on. Alright, the fallen hero's already back on his feet, unfortunately. It makes me glad I didn't try to harvest his armor, because then he would have just come back with full armor. Okay, which one to attack? Henry, there we go. At least the fallen hero's so low on health that we should be able to drop him with just another hit or 2. Oh, but he's engaged with Bunny now. Alright, she'll switch off to her long axe, but missed anyway. Ooh, we've actually got the Noxerrer very low on health as well. Okay, well let's see if Rondis can finish them off. Oh, there goes the fallen hero. And there goes the Noxerrer. Alright, nicely done, Rondis. 2 of the major threats dispatched. That leaves us with 1 lone Wiederganger. And... too much exhaustion. Someone's got to... Okay, there we go. There we go. Nicely done, Goon. That dispatches the last of them. Now, unfortunately, Roderick is going to be sidelined for a while he recovers from that hand injury. But Faceless Goon is level 7, Siren's level 7. Oswald is level 4. I see that Potato over there is MVP. And Vlad is up a level as well. Ooh, and look at all that loot. Signet Ring, a golden chalice worth an easy 1,000 gold crowns. And some other assorted equipment, another flail we didn't really need. And that Decayed Heater Shield, unfortunately, is too weak to be of much use, but the Great Helm... The Great Helm is very heavy, but it provides exceptional protection. I can definitely get some use out of that. Alright, well, let's grab it all and, oh. This again. Alright, let's take a quick look here and see what we can swap out. We'll dump the teeth. And all of these are worth about 300 gold apiece, so I'm loath to leave any of them behind. What else can I dump? I guess I could dump the crowns. Actually, this bludgeon. I can dump the bludgeon, I can dump the Akaton cap, and I can dump the surcoat, and I'll take the chainmail. Alright, that's another stronghold down. Unfortunately, it still didn't give us a unique item. We just haven't had much luck in that area. But otherwise, we came through the fight pretty well, especially considering I think that's the most enemies we've ever faced at once. We're going to need to rearrange our front lines a little bit, but thankfully at this point we have a lot of warriors in reserve. We'll just bring in one of our fresh faces, while Roderick is on the sidelines recovering. And we'll be right back after we picked up a noble contract. The little farmstead didn't stand a chance. You find farmhands slain left and right, pitchfork weaponry still grasped. One of the prongs has blood on it, definitely not human. You follow the trail, knowing that you'll soon be upon the perpetrators of this here crime. We must be close. And welcome back. We did indeed pick up a noble contract, and as you may suspect from this narrative text, we are hunting orcs. See, now, you may be wondering why I didn't show you the contract when I picked it up, and that's because it took us all the way out here towards Dornan, where we're hunting for marauding greenskins. And we came from Grunberg, which is halfway across the world map. I think that aptly shows my biggest problem with noble contracts. They're great for reputation and for gold, but they waste so much of your time because they constantly send you to locations across the entire world. But at least it's an excuse to travel. And there's our target, a group of orc marauders. Looks like 11 orc young. I think we're in good enough shape to handle that. We've cycled our men again. Roderick is still on the bench. He's recovered from his hand injury, but he's still lightly wounded, so for now we'll let the rookies get a little bit of time on the battlefield. And, of course, you'll notice that Rondis has laid claim to the fallen hero's plate helm. Now, on the one hand, you may think that I'm enabling him because his ego states that he's the only one capable of wielding the helm of a former hero, but it's also because he's the only one who actually has a high enough fatigue to wield a great helm at this point. So, congratulations, Rondis. Let's go ahead and start softening these guys up with some arrows, of course. So far, it doesn't look too bad. I definitely see some orcs who are just begging to be flailed in the skull. Though a lot of these guys have shields, meaning our archers aren't going to be of a whole lot of use, unfortunately. I don't like the looks of this elevated terrain right in front of our battle line, so we're going to advance immediately. That way the orcs won't be able to position themselves in elevated directly in front of Goon. Instead, we'll reform our battle line 2 spaces further up. Though this bush will break our battle line in 2. So I guess Rondis will come down here on the south side. Goon will advance, but he won't be able to attack. And our archers, some of our archers still have to go, so... Okay, well this at least gives us a good look at all of the orcs. I'm not too worried about the orcs wielding clubs. Those can cause fatigue damage, but they only cause low health damage. I'm a little more concerned about the cluster towards the back with orc axes. Those are the things that can smash our shields to pieces in just 1 or 2 swings. And as we've seen aptly demonstrated in the past, the second our frontliners lose their shields, they become significantly more vulnerable to follow-up attacks. Okay. Okay, there's a solid hand injury doled out by Potato. Very good. And the rest of the orcs are now starting to rush in where they can. I'll have to carefully pick my shots as they become available. Ooh, and there's a solid leg wound doled out by Vlad. That'll help the frontliners. Unfortunately, things are immediately put back into balance because Oswald just got stunned. Costs him his next turn. Alright, now we can start engaging the orcs properly. Move Rondis in and... There's a solid attack from Goon. Snaps that orc's arm and breaks his morale. And Reinhard finally finishes one of them off. Alright, Siren, let's get you in there too. In fact, let's fill the gap here where we can lock down 3 at once. And there's a broken nose. As I've said before, Siren hates noses. Henry will step up and... a helmet hit. I'll take it. It's not like we can salvage armor off these guys anyway. But now Rondis is locked down for a turn. Okay. Round 3. Now, unfortunately, because I've moved my entire front line up, at this point the archers don't have much in the way of clear shots. I can pick off one good shot here, but I think the rest of them are going to have to move up and start firing through the ranks. So let's get Fox up here. Ooh, there's a crushed windpipe, very nice. And Potato will step up here and fire through. Nice, there's a leg wound. Quickly followed up by 2 nasty hits from Oswald. Nicely done, Oswald. And another fatality. Ooh, 2 fatalities doled out by Vlad. Okay, that was a quick turnaround. Let's bring Mark Richards up somewhere. I don't really see any ideal spots. I guess this bush is good. Managed to get a glancing blow in there. Unfortunately, we are starting to soak up an awful lot of abuse from those orc weapons on the south side, and... oh! Rondus just lost his shield. Okay. Well, let's see if we can help him out here real quick. This guy... okay, now, I got lost his shield. These orcs are wildly inconsiderate. I don't think they realize how expensive these shields are to replace. And Siren is bleeding and exhausted, but Igot's not perturbed. He may have lost his shield, but he handily dispatches another orc. So let's do our end of the round maneuvering here and see if we can salvage this before we take any serious injuries. We can replace lost kite shields. It's a lot harder to replace a good mercenary. Alright, we'll bring Bunny up. No good open shots for her, so we'll just try our luck. Okay, now Fox. Oh, no. I did not mean to move him there. Okay, I just locked Fox down in combat with an orc. I'm getting a little careless here because I'm starting to grow concerned. Okay, Mark, move up, fire through the ranks. Oswald, move up and engage. Let's bring Vlad somewhere he can do something useful. Yeah, that's good. Nice, that takes out most of the orc's remaining armor. Reinhardt's starting to get beat up a bit more. Oswald is now double bleeding. Rondus lost most of his armor on that shot. Okay, Faceless. I'd like to move him south, but he can only attack if I move him north, so... there we go. Reinhardt will attack, and then stand there, I guess. He's out of stamina. Siren is also very low on stamina. And Igot is now out of stamina as well. Everyone's becoming exhausted again, unfortunately. I'm mildly concerned about that bleeding, but he has enough health left that I'm not too worried about it. Now Fox gets a chance to fight back, but he's not really trained in melee weaponry, so... yeah, that went about as I expected. Okay. Okay, another solid hit doled out by Potato. He didn't finish off the orc, but he did break its morale, so our north side is basically clear now. And nice, Rondus dispatches another one of his foes, completely unconcerned about the loss of his shield. I think he's actually been begging me to get rid of that shield. Ooh, and there's a piercing chest wound doled out by Vlad. And it breaks another one of the orcs. Okay, so we only have 2 active, battle-ready orcs left on the field at this point. Unfortunately, they're still engaged with some of our more vulnerable mercenaries, so we can't relax just yet. There we go. One of them tried to run, and Goon quickly dispatched him. I think Goon is... It really feels like Goon is particularly vindictive when it comes to fleeing enemies. And Bunny doles out a shoulder wound. Ooh, there's a piercing chest wound as well. Alright, that broke another orc's morale, leaving us with just one battle-ready orc on the field. Vlad's too far away to help. Rondis. There we go. Just one left and he's ready to run, but Rondis handily dispatches him as well. Alright, if anything, losing that shield just made Rondis even deadlier. Which appears to have paid off because he's MVP with 3 orc kills. Though Mark hits level 7 and Reinhard hits level 3. Congratulations, guys. Not much in the way of loot here. The 2 head splitters will net us a few hundred gold at least. And that Morning Star, I might get some use out of that. The rest of this is just garbage. But, more importantly, that resolves this quest. The battle is settled, as is a wager or two the men had. As it turns out, an orc will stop gnashing if you remove its head from its neck. Your employer, Count Gerald von Eisenstein, probably doesn't care about such brutish experiments. But he will pay you for the work you've done today. Alright, well, once you guys are done butchering those corpses, let's get ourselves back to Grunberg to collect our remaining pay. The Raiders can hold their heads high. That's our first successful noble contract. But hopefully just the first of many to come. Hey, Retcon Raider here. Looks like this was another good day for the Raiders. We took a bit of a beating, but we came through with little more than a few shattered shields and temporary flesh wounds. Roderick took the worst of it with that pierced hand, but he miraculously recovered in the short time it took us to get from Grunberg to Dornan. I don't think I mentioned it during the session, but our latest ambition is to raise a reserve of 10,000 gold crowns. And that shouldn't be too hard to accomplish now that we have access to lucrative noble contracts. With those orcs that we just dispatched, we're already halfway there, and once this ambition has been completed, we'll have enough gold to invest in a greatsword or two, which will be a monumental boost to our battle effectiveness. I suppose the downside to all this success is that the people on the waiting list will have to keep waiting for at least a while longer, until the next time the Raiders get in over their heads. And, since we're now just 2 or so weeks away from seeing the first signs of the endgame crisis, that's likely to happen sooner rather than later. But for now, the Raiders can hold their heads high. We've taken on everything from armies of the undead to rampaging orc hordes, and come through it relatively unscathed. I think that calls for another round of drinks. To the tavern! So for now, this is Retcon Raider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, or the fan-run wiki. Links are in the description.